Good evening, sim racing fans. Welcome to Sim Racing World SRW TV. Tonight we are pumped to present round 9 of the SRW Porsche GT Cup Series. We are at Zandvoort this week, all brought to you by DSL Welding. It's Cowie, your average sim racer here, with Chef Toddy Thorburn on comms and Nation Shippy Howard behind the scenes, looking after all the tech side. Mate, we're back at the normal sprint round with a 20-minute race followed by a 40-minute race with a compulsory pit stop. But it's only 2 rounds to go in the championship, so the action should be heating up. How do you think it'll play out, Jeff?
It's going to be very, very tight, I think. This is a hard track to pass on, and we saw in the F3s how hard it was to pass on this track. And these cars are much bigger than the F3s, as you can see, so I think it's going to be very interesting to see how people overtake, where people choose to overtake tonight, and the teamwork. We'll see a lot of teamwork in these last 2 rounds, I'm sure.
Exactly, Toddy. I mean, we've got one big long straight and a big hairpin, so I'm sure that'll be where everyone looks to try and make the move into turn 1, but we'll have to see how much it plays out. It's rather interesting in the championship now, buddy. I've been away for a few weeks. Dano's not feeling the best tonight, so hopefully I can get my vocal levels up to the same register, or at least somewhere in that same stratosphere.
I can get excited as well, so we got this.
Yeah, I think so. But it's our first time, I think, working together as well, buddy. So,
yeah, I think so.
Hopefully it all goes well.
Yeah, it's great. So your first time hosting, and I'll be co-hosting tonight. So I'll just feed off Howie's excitement and Howie's knowledge of these cars and iRacing. He's a bit of an old pro with iRacing, so I always ask him for a bit of advice. And when I'm trying to build my iRating and stuff at the moment. So yeah, it's great having a good community around you. And these guys
the boys welcomed me in just as much, you know, when I was a newbie. I've been in here a couple of years now. I don't think I've found pace yet, but you know, I've certainly spent money trying to find it. Anyway, let's have a look at the standings. I've been away for a few weeks and there's been some big movement. I saw that I was talking with Adam Hughes from Crisscross Racing, and he was having some technical issues, some internet issues there for a couple of weeks. So I can see that his lead in the championship is shortened right up, buddy. 30 points back to Alex Court now from After Dark, so it's starting to get pretty tight.
Yeah, and Benjamin Siren, he's had a couple of really good rounds the last couple of rounds. So he's moved his way up a little while. He's up into 6th there, so he's done well. But we've seen he got driver of the round last week in the Porsches. But Adam Hughes up into 1st. Robbie Griffiths slotted himself up into 2nd. He's really profited from the Alex Court's internet issues, obviously there, huh?
Oh, so I know. I was looking in the forums today, and obviously they've got it wrong. So Alex has had some issues and slipped back. So yeah, it's Robbie Griffiths that is closing in on Alex. So there you go. I went through and did up all my notes, and it got updated on me. I think a couple of the boys at the admin have been a bit crook and under the weather. It makes it a bit hard, but they got it done. Stats are up there. I think, how's the team ratings looking as well? Because I know it was starting to get closer up at the top between Crisscross and After Dark, but seeing Alex has just fallen back a couple, so I don't know if that's still the same.
We've got it at the moment. Seems, I'm not sure if I have the updated one either by look at this, but it looks like Crisscross is in 1st at the moment. Right, here we go. After Dark Sim Racing in 2nd there with 3,126 points. Crisscross 2 there in 3rd place. So Crisscross boys in 1st and 3rd, really well done from them. Fishing Motorsports up into 4th. Robbie Griffiths in 2nd in the series. So he's really pushing the team up a bit further up into the standings there. So we'll see. It'll be very interesting to see how he can push it. Maybe he can push up into the maybe the Fishy boys can push up into the podium position in this last two rounds. 9.5 Sim Sports 1 with 2,295 points. Team Greg in 6th. We've got Team SRW, Sim Racing World in 7th, and we've got Locked On Racing in 8th. So it's going to be very, very interesting.
Well, I remember looking at a couple of rounds ago, and it was Crisscross 1 and 2 at the top there. So After Dark has split them, so that's a pretty good effort. But look, there's 500 points lead that Crisscross 1 have got, so that's going to be pretty hard for him to haul in. But as we said, the Drivers' Championship has tightened right up, and Adam's going to have to put in a pretty good result tonight to maintain that gap, and maybe if he has a blinder, I think he might even be able to seal it. We'll have to see how the stats, the numbers pull up at the end.
And with our format tonight, we've got a 20-minute, and then we've got a 20-minute sprint round and a 40-minute round there that they have to do they're going to have to do a pit stop there. So we'll see some strategy coming in the second race. But I think they might use that kind of test the ground with the first race and try and get their eye in and get in the flow of the track. And then that second race will really see some firecrackers, I think.
Well, I think the thing is, as you said, that we're right down the business end of the championship now. So, there's the sprint race tonight. I'm not sure is the final weekend enduro. I would have to probably check that. But again, the amount of points that are on offer is starting to get smaller and smaller. If you're going to make your move for the championship, you got to do it pretty soon.
Yep, most definitely. Yep, and it's at Imola next week, guys. So it's going to be very awesome to see.
Zero format there.
I think some places you need to look out for on this track as well, guys. The exit of Renault is always a hard one if you get on the gas a bit too hard, but also as you're coming down to Tarzan, especially this first sort of corner, as you see, it's a bit of a downhill. In your braking point, you're coming down to a bit of a downhill, and it changes the camber of the track. As you come through this sort of section, it's very easy to lock up through this section. And then I think the biggest part we're going to see some fireworks is really down to the entrance of the Audi S. Because down at the Audi S there, as we come through that funny little chicane, it's very easy to lock it up coming down there because you're coming down the hill also. So,
being the rear end of the car, stepping out there on him as he tried to get on the gas.
Most definitely, yeah. You can definitely. These things are only 1,200 kilos with driver in. As we say it, there we go. Car to Dines getting a bit sideways there.
Right on the limit, trying to find some time. The quali's pretty tight out there. We've got Adam Hughes on top at the moment with a 1 minute 37.519, is it? I think.
Wow.
Half a second ahead of Stefan.
I think these guys are just warming up a bit then.
Well, look, halfway through quali already, buddy, so I'd say everyone's gone and had at least one sort of push lap, and now it's really the business end where they're trying to find those extra tenths that may make the difference for the grid for race one, or will make the difference.
Oh, you can see Stefan's smooth gear changes and down change into the Audi S there. And that was the...
Yeah, I think that's going to be interesting, because you could see that the car, he almost sort of stepped the rear end of the car out to open the corner out. So
yeah, he's almost using the downshift rotation and the weight of the car for rotation around the corner, which is quite clever. But I suppose that's kind of the style of the way you have to kind of drive a Porsche, isn't it? This is where the weight is.
They feel very heavy under braking, so couple that with several downhill braking areas, that you'd have to be fairly sort of careful on them. Remember, there's no ABS, no traction control in these things. So it's, very much a skill to master. And I think, Adam Hughes has shown us this year, this is one of the cars that he loves, and he puts a bit of time into it. And that's why we keep seeing him up the top when his internet decides to play ball anyway.
So as we come down through here, we're on board with Alex Court here, guys. So this first corner is called Tarzan, which I absolutely love. Pretty cool. Tarzan box, but we won't say the box price.
Well, it's commonly known as Tarzan Corner.
Yeah, Tarzan Corner, which is kind of cool. It's got to be the best name of the corner ever. Right?
You can see that the car getting light over the hill there as he tried to sort of stay on the just there again. Really using every bit of grip he can find.
Most definitely. It's very, very interesting to see because it's almost using the back of the car as it's stepping out in conjunction with the bumps, because there's quite a bumpy track, as you can see as you're coming along through here as well. It's quite an old track. Seems very undulating, but quite a bumpy track as well in these things.
They smoothed it out for the Formula One cars last year. I don't know. I don't know if iRacing's got the latest one, but it certainly looks pretty bumpy out there.
It does, doesn't it? It does look patchy. It doesn't look resealed to me.
The car just wanted to step out around. We were looking at turn 9 then, I think, was it?
Yes, we're looking at, turn
Going
9.
through turn 12 now, I think. Yep.
Yeah, that's the Audi S. As we come down through Kumo corner.
Glad you got these corner names down, buddy. I'm trying to look at my track map and I can't pronounce any of them, so you just shortened and hyphenated and did the Aussie thing.
Yeah, well, basically, the way with the Dutch words actually means so bocht is corner. So it's basically that first part of it you just need to say. Yep. So if you come through Masters bocht, Kumo bocht, bocht is just Dutch for corner. So Tarzan.
There you go. I didn't expect to get a lesson in Dutch, but there you go.
It's part of my job. I have to do a lot of research about the world and how to pronounce a lot of very strange cooking terms, etc., etc. So yeah.
Awesome. We're on board. Having a look at Kyle's Inc. there. That's a pretty striking looking car there.
He's like that. Great rounds lately too. He's had some great fighting battles on the way back up through. Had a little bit of bad luck in the last couple of rounds early on, but then he's actually been very, very quick, and he's had some very awesome fight backs. I think he had, was it one round? I think Shivy, what did he was he made up 13 or 11 or 13 positions or something. Oh, it's just insane.
I know. I remember a few of the races that I caught a bit earlier in the season. He was certainly in and amongst it. Definitely having a red hot go.
He's definitely improved as you've seen. Yeah, especially through the season, you've definitely seen these guys improve, and it's really made towards this end of the season really, really interesting now, because it could be anyone's, especially in the driver standings, could be anyone's, and it could be even shuffled through the podium positions as well. We could even see if someone has a couple of 2 bad rounds, we could have somebody filter up into the podium position as well for the series as well. So.
Yeah, triple point enduro to finish it all up. So it's just about trying to give yourself, some level of contention there, and we can always. I suppose you don't get mechanical issues in a sim, but you get them when it comes to your actual equipment, I suppose, or your internet. And I suppose it's the virtual version of blowing the engine going down the straight, I suppose.
Yeah.
We don't like to see it, and but it has brought Adam a little bit back to the field, so he I think without that he might have had this already sewn up.
Yeah, and Adam Hughes with a 37.5 as well. Bloody hell, that's quick.
And that's what I mean, buddy. Look, I think partly his speed in these cars and actually showing that he's put a bit of focus into them has given the other boys a bit of a push. So I think you're saying that everyone's improved, but I think you'll find at the start of the season people weren't practicing too much in these things, and then realise that they're pretty hard to drive, and you need to put the time in, and that reaps its own rewards. Once you spend some time behind the car, you start to get a handle of what you can do and what you can get away with, what you can't get away with. And you can see here that the boys are still pushing super hard, trying to find that one lap that's going to catapult them up the leaderboard. In
some of the interviews we had last week, after the round last week as well, was a couple of the drivers actually said, interestingly enough, they were saying they were actually quite excited that there was, it was the end of other rounds, so they could actually concentrate a bit more on these Porsches. They can really concentrate on some of these races in the other series and stuff like that, and can actually really concentrate on these Porsches for the last 2 rounds now.
That's what we want to see, buddy, a big battle right at the end here.
Yep. So I think it was Stefan and a few other, Adam and Alex were also saying, now we can concentrate a bit more on these. We just got the they just said the F3s, and they can concentrate on these Porsches a bit more now. So it's going to be really awesome to see these guys. It seems like they've put in a lot more practice around here to be able to go 37.5 around here. Adam Hughes has definitely put in a lot of practice, but the rest of these guys, we've got the whole top 5 in under the 39 mark, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah, well, just having a look at another guy who's had a pretty good season this year, Robbie Griffiths, up into 2nd, currently in the standings. So, but I know that Robbie sort of has been in the mix and been on several podiums this season. So, he's been showing his pace all season. It's good to see him reaping the rewards of that. Yeah,
and it shows, and it's really shown in the last couple of rounds. I only started hosting with 3 or 4 rounds ago with the Porsches, but it's really good. It really shows how much of a patient racer he is, and a bit more. He's very, very consistent on his laps, but he's a very patient racer, and he just stay out of it. but then he'll kind of stay behind somebody. He'll get a bit of slipstream there. He'll save a bit of tyres, save a bit of gas, and you'll see his strategy is his old wise head coming into the 4 in the second race, I believe, when it comes down to the pit strategy.
Well, consistency, seen consistency plenty of times in other championships, proves to be the decisive factor. You can be fast, but if you're fast and get involved in incidents, then you end up leaving points on the table. I think Alex Court might be ruining that fact. He's had some great drives and then has had some incidents as well that has seen his sort of points hauls vary from week to week, so it tends to make it hard when you're trying to compete against someone of the caliber of Alex out front there.
And especially how hungry all these guys are, and it's great to see how hungry everybody is. And that's racing stuff does happen and that sort of stuff. So,
I got one the other night, so.
Did you?
Yeah. Coming up, we're at Barber Motorsport, I think, for the V8s at the moment. Coming up over the hill on the back straight, the guy's got loose. Got up alongside him, and then he just copped the whole, that second bite of the car, and it just threw him straight in front of me.
That torque oversteer, kind of the snap oversteer. No, so not.
Just put me into the wall. That was my race done. So, but we're here to talk about these boys. I do love the look of that team.
I do. Yeah, we've always said every week. Greg Leake always has a really nice livery, but this is probably the favourite actually. It's very Lightning McQueen-esque, isn't it?
That's it.
It's kind of like if Lightning McQueen was a Porsche,
It's a good looking car. Even the red rims.
I do like it. It's not often I like coloured rims, but I kind of like it on that. It's actually really cool.
Greg's inside the top 10 at the moment, so he's having a good run at the moment. 2.6 off Adam. But again, that's why we said that those boys up in front are super quick. But opportunities for everyone on the grid. These cars not the easiest things to start in either. Can't remember they're not rolling starts, or a standing start. Been away too long. Standing start, so so they're not that easy to get away either. So, well, it looks like qualifying has wrapped up.
Here we go. I'll take it away then. So Adam Hughes in first. We've got Alex Court in second. We've got Stephen McCartan in third. Robbie Grivis in fourth, and Kyle Zink wrapping out the top 5. Carter Dines in sixth. Callan Hodgkinson with a great drive. Greg Leake in eighth. Dean Sinkovich in ninth. Unfortunately, we can't have Stephen on the grid tonight because his internet is completely down because of all the weather and all that sort of stuff that's happening over in Australia. So we send out our love and big shout out to Steve tonight. And we've got George Miners wrapping up the top 10 with Peter Baxter in the safety car. Yep. So fantastic. So we've got our top 10. Got our top 10 tonight, guys. So this will really throw a spanner in the works for the last 2 rounds, all right?
Yeah, look, it's one of those things. I think we've lost a few drivers over the time, but the cars are gridding up. We should have the lights soon. We've got 10 cars for action tonight. Round 9 of the SRW Porsche GT Cup Series getting ready to go. Just trying to listen for the cars to rev up. We're still waiting for a couple of cars to appear on the grid. Again, thanks to DSL Welding as our major sponsor bringing this to us. Hopefully we don't see the promo department safety car tonight. And again, guys, if you're enjoying the broadcast, make sure you give us a like and share and subscribe to all of the SRW channels.
Hit that bell for notifications so you can keep up to date.
That's it.
Yeah, baby.
Alrighty. Well, they're keeping us waiting here.
They are, most definitely. I'll leave Cowie to take away the race start tonight. Well,
here they go. Amazing. So Adam Hughes on the grid.
It's going to be good.
All right. Getting ready. The lights are up. 5 red lights. We get to go. The cars are revving up. Adam Hughes, current series leader. He gets a good start.
Oh, they've all looked like I've gotten a pretty good start there.
A little bit of smoke and wheel spin, but he looks like he's got clear going into turn 1. Can hold that line. Is that Peter Baxter? No, that'd be. Is that Carter Dines in behind him there? I think it is.
Oh, and who have we got? Who have we got starting from the pits there? Callan Hodgkinson, unfortunately, starting from the pits there. I'm not sure what's happened there.
And he's missed the grid.
Oh, and Dean Sigovic has had a bit of a spin there at the back of the grid on cold tyres, along with George Minus, is it?
Yeah.
Wow,
These cars so hard to deal with on cold tyres, but the boys at the front setting a good pace already, starting to distance themselves a little. Adam Hughes followed by Alex Court in second position. Stefan Kant behind him.
These
And
guys
again,
are definitely taking it easy, you can tell.
we'll see how brave they are. Alex having a little look up the inside there. Again, cold tyres.
No pressure, eh?
Takes 3 or 4, well, it's 3 or 4 laps for these tyres to really come in. So, you know, it's all about bravery at this point in time, buddy.
Oh, 100%. And for Alex Court, it has to be.
Oh, who's that got small wide in the rear?
That looks like a black car.
That was Kyle Zink, I think. Kyle Zink, that's, again,
Oh, that's
we
a
talk
pity.
about how treacherous cold tyres are in these cars.
But
And-
Kyle will be one to rewatch as well because he's one to fight back. So
Well, remember, it's only the sprint race. Start off with a 20-minute race, so it's all on the line. The boys will get another chance to bring home the bacon in race number 2, but we're all focused on this race at the moment. Adam just trying to deal with a bit of draft there.
and trying to get some warmth in his tyres by the look there too as
I
well.
would say that's probably a
Whoa.
good reason too, buddy.
Yeah, he looks like he was trying to go a bit later on brakes there, try and get some heat in the tyres, so he go later on the brakes and try and open up a gap to Alex Court there, but it definitely didn't work. But good thinking. Whoa, look at that
Coming
camera
up
view.
with
That
that.
is so cool.
That
That
is
is
a camera.
such an awesome camera.
Shibby was just commenting, it looks great until they go over the hill, so so we switch
Yeah.
cars quickly. Good thinking, buddy. Robbie Griffiths
Very
is trying to stay here. I know Robbie just got just missed them. The top 3 were able to just distance a little bit, but again, as we said, Robbie's had a great season so far, so just keep yourself in the mix and see how hard Adam and Alex and Stefan are prepared to fight up front.
Yeah, just so I can keep he'll stay in there. I think he's just trying to get some temperature in the tyres there. Even if Greg Leak catches him behind, I'm sure he'll use his draft to his advantage.
Well, as you said, that's what it's all about at the moment. It's all about the temperature of these tyres. Are actually, they feel good to drive these cars once you do get the tyres up to 10. But you're looking at 3 to 4 laps before you can really start to push with them.
Oh, and you can look at the comparison in lap times. You're looking at over 10 seconds slower than these guys would be on a fast lap, just because the tyres are cold. So that's a massive difference, really.
Well, and again, as we said, it's, they are a bit of a handful early on, and very much I wouldn't say a more technical car than I thought that they would be, but they're quite difficult, and cold tyres, oh god, just a recipe for disaster.
Especially in these, because they're 501 horsepower and full liquids plus driver. Maximum weight is 1,200 kilos. So, it's a pretty big car that really doesn't weigh much at all.
It's a great battle.
Sorry.
I was going to say, this is a great battle we're watching here, buddy. Both these boys, Stefan and Alex, know that they have to get past Adam if they're going to have a chance at the championship. They can't just let him win it. These last few races, any chance they get to put him behind him, bridge that gap, otherwise he's going to get it done.
Yeah,
Just
but I'm
a bit
sure
of white line
these
here,
crisscross boys will be working together right now. They're trying to sandwich Alex Court and not slow him down, but just keep him under wraps for now, I think. We've got Stefan behind him, just trying to use the draft, trying to save some tyres, save some gas there. And we've got Adam Hughes there with some serious pace, just trying to run his tyres in and keep that temperature up, but just stay with his pack and keep that pressure on the back of Alex Court.
You can see these guys are already starting to push a bit now, so I'd say their tyres are pretty much up to temp now.
Well, Stefan's just done a 38.4 fastest lap of the race there, guys, so not too bad at all. So we're already up to a second away from qualifying times, guys. So, Judo.
I don't think these things have got a huge fuel burn, but
With only with the second race, it's a 55% fuel capacity. So We will
it's
see those guys.
one of those incidents we saw in the background there before race control's just been on. Say it's going to be reviewed at the end of the race, I think. So
Okay.
maybe there's a little bit going on there.
Oh, maybe we can get a DSL replay, DSL welding replay.
So now that we've got the guys settling in, we're going to have a little bit of a look at a couple of the incidents that happened at the start of this race. So again, thanks to DSL Welding for these great pictures, and Shibby, you're doing a great job back there. So throw them up, buddy, and we'll
As always.
see if we can have a chat about it. Alrighty. So Dean Sinkovich on cold tyres, for the looks of it here. So
Oh, there's a bit of a touch.
Bump there, so that
was.
maybe is what race control was referring to. So a little bump between Greg and Dean there. And that's pretty
Oh,
well
has he got a bit of damage there? It's definitely done some damage to that right-hand front suspension, I
Oh,
think.
it looks like something's happened up front as well. Alex Court has had a big
crisscross
incident.
boys into first and second now. Alex Court, what's happened there? DSL Welding Services replay.
Massive
Action.
incident here for Alex. He's gone deep. Oh, and he just got tapped
just
by
locked him up.
Adam.
Did it look? I don't know. I think he's already
think there
locked
was
it up before he's been before he's
Yeah.
away, and he's locked it up before it's happened.
I think it might have been some contact there, but I don't know if there was anything in that. That might be one for race control to have a look at. Oh, we're going to have another look at it here.
There was a bit of a dive bomb into the Audi S's. Oh.
So, yeah, look, it looks like they gave each other room there, so we'll have to
But
see.
there's not just not much room there. That's the thing. It looks like they've given themselves room, but there's just not much room there whatsoever in the first place, I
Race
think.
control
So.
was just on the radio talking about net code in an incident. I don't know if it was that one that they were referring to, though.
Oh. Well, that's unfortunate, guys. Mechanical problems here in iRacing tonight.
And netcode's one of those things. I mean, we do thank iRacing for giving us Australian servers, so therefore we're not operating on a 300 plus ping all the time.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Thank you.
And I believe in the last update they have made some improvements to the prediction stuff for the whole netcode, because you're racing in different parts of the world sometimes, or different states in Australia.
And all different connectivities and
correct, that's
speeds.
right. So iRacing sort of runs predictively, where it sort of takes the telemetry of the car and what it's doing at each sort of fraction of a second. And if there is a dropout, it can predict it for, those microseconds until your connection comes back.
I see. So preempt it.
Yeah, and that's basically the netcode thing. So, perhaps you had got control of the car, but iRacing didn't react quick enough, or predicted something slightly different, and that's why sometimes you'll see contact from cars that are apart. And of course, as we said before, it has a big thing to do with internet connection, speeds, all that sort of stuff. But look at this tight battle here at the moment. Callum trying to go in deep there on Greg.
Callan Hodgkinson's had some great rounds as well. I've been very impressed with him in the last few weeks, and all the different cars actually, because you can see that he's improving. It sort of seemed like at the start of the series is that he was a bit brash and maybe trying to overdrive the car a bit, but it seems like he's really kind of.
Greg here.
Whoa!
That's
Greg got
nice
a bit
move
loose.
over the. Yeah, that's a nice move over the top there to get it done. Greg holding his line though. Oh, too wide over the hill.
Oh, no, what a camera shot. That's so awesome.
The boys loving it. This is what I joined the racing for. I know I'm not super quick, but if I can get in and battle with some boys and get side-by-side action like that, that's everything I look to. So Callum and Greg having a ball here as far as I'm concerned. Anyway.
Yeah, through the exit of Renault at the moment. That's always a sketchy one in certain cars if you get too hot on the exit of Renault there.
He's trying to get the gas on early.
Come on, son. Down to the S's. Is he going to be able to take him on the inside? Down to the Audi S's.
Carried so much more momentum out of that corner. The car was sideways, but he kept it going. He's locked it up. Is that going to give Greg a chance to come back? Looks like he's got it under control. That's a
what
move
a
that
move.
it took half a lap to get that one happening, to get that one done and dusted. But glad to see we're seeing some good passing action here.
Especially on a track that's very hard to pass in such a big car or on such a narrow track.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. You were saying it's quite a tight place to pass around.
Yeah, it's a very tight place to pass around. Even if we saw in the F3s, even it's very very tight and hard to pass on. So you did see a lot of guys kind of setting it up a 2 or 3 laps time. Showing a bit of nose, coming into the S's, and then pulling out. Just showing a little bit and going, well, I'm coming for you. I'm here, and just piling on the pressure, and then being able to get past them. But we haven't seen many passes down through the into the entry of the RDS, so it's pretty impressive.
Pete Sinkovich on board with him. Unfortunately, got involved in an incident there at turn 1, lap 1. So he's finding himself about 11 seconds off the pace. Back from he's in the top 10, but he's 11 seconds to Carter Dines in front of him, and seeing we've only got about 9 minutes of the race left, that's going to be pretty hard to make that up.
Does it look like he's carrying a bit of damage still? He obviously hasn't pitted for it, so
yeah, there's a scrape.
He might be struggling with it, a sideways wheel at the moment.
Yeah, it was scraped, but I couldn't see anything else, and the front did look like it was really banged in. Looking at the other Team Greg car here with that speckle going through that as well, the green and gold.
That's quite cool. Aussie stars. Very nice.
Greg at the back of the field at the moment, so that was George, at the back of the field at the moment. So just trying to drive his own race and keep the car straight. Unfortunately, when you fall back like that, it can be hard. He's 5 seconds from Dean there, so we'll see if he can catch it up. Anyway, we move near the front with Robbie Griffiths on board the Fishing Motorsports machine, buddy.
Yeah, he's a brilliant driver. He's got a calm head about him, so very impressive. Alex Court on the fight back to him. He's just gotten fastest lap now as well. Alex Court with a 138.25 on the hunt of Robbie Griffiths here. So Robbie might just let Alex go here. And what I would do if Alex was behind me, I'd find a nice spot for him to let Alex go, and then I'd just stay on the back of Alex.
I think in the midst of all of that, we did miss the fact that during when Alex had his incident, that also meant that Stefan was able to sweep around the outside and jump into first. So you've now got Fishy Cars 1, 2, 3 and Kyle Zink.
Oh,
Is that a little
with
bump there, or?
And that's coming through Renault there, and we were talking about Renault earlier. Being in a bit of a sketchy, it might be an opportune place that you might think it might be a good opportune place to pass, but the camber of the track does not allow it, as you've just seen.
Just tried to carry a bit too much speed there, I'd say. And these things can be a bit of a boat. They don't want to stop.
No, they don't. And yeah, they don't want to stop. They either want to, and they love to lock up as well. As Cowie was saying earlier, no OBS. No ABS. So used to saying OBS.
We're looking at OBS, buddy. Not don't have that in a car.
Yeah,
but this is a great battle here. Alex is trying to put the pressure right on Robbie, or a bit loose.
Ooh.
Robbie's had to rein that car in, and that's given Alex a snip, and he's done it easy.
Beautiful move there, and it's very, very clean, respectful. Robbie saw him coming on the inside. He's like, I was already off the racing line.
One was already done, I think.
Yeah, once you're already off the line, especially on Zandvoort, it's not one of those tracks that's wide enough that you can have multiple different racing lines. As you can see with all the amount of marks on the track, it's literally one.
Well, that camber, as you said, that just, if you're down in the groove, you get the grip. If you're outside that groove, you don't have the same grip, you can't carry the same speed. And there's a lot of... Then you float up into the marbles, as you said, and then you've got even less grip.
Yeah, exactly right. And it's especially, it's kind of, I liken a lot of these corners a lot to kind of Forest Elbow, and you kind of have to pull it into the dip of the corner and just let the force and the momentum of the car kind of pull you in and pull you around. And if you try and fight it too much, that's when you're in trouble.
Well, you can see these guys trying to get on the gas as early as possible, and the back end of the car starts to step out. So it's definitely, one of those sort of things. Yeah, Forest Elbow is a good analogy, because you really want to maximise your speed on that corner, because you've got a whole big corner straight after it.
Yeah, and if you get it right, you get in that little groove on the inside, and it just sort of shimmies you around, and you kind of like, such a great feeling. And I had the same sort of feeling on many corners on Zandvoort. So I was very excited when I first started having to go on this track.
I made a mistake earlier in the week thinking that.
Oh no, we've had a bit of a moment here from Callan Hodgkinson on the outside, as we were just saying as well. Is that Kumo corner?
I think, even though these tyres take a while to get up to 10, you can overheat them too. And, you slid up out of the groove then. But again, it's such a fine line to have the right amount of pace and not enough pace and too much pace. And that line just gets thinner and thinner sometimes. It's supposed to get wider the more laps you do around a track, but it doesn't take much to catch you out. So again, look, the boys getting on the power hard there.
These boys working together here.
I don't think Adam's given up this race yet. He's going to look at trying to make a move on Stefan.
Oh, Stefan a bit deep there.
Oh, that was Adam. He was trying to make a move there. He just went a bit too deep. We've only got 4 minutes to go, so probably 3 laps remaining. And Stefan's now jumped out to 1.5 second lead.
And Stefan's up into first as well. He's just absolutely just powering on with this race now.
He took advantage of that incident with Adam and Alex and swept around the outside and has been in the front since then. So he's just trying to hold off his teammate. But I think, as we said before, with the championship on the line, I can't see Adam.
Oh, and look at that. Alex Court already up into, still up in third after that pass on Robbie Grivers. So he's had a great comeback after that little bit of an incident earlier.
Robbie looks like he's kept a decent distance back to Alex. I mean, the 3 guys up front have showed their pace all season in these things. And again, I know when I tried to get anywhere near those times, it felt like I was skating in these cars. So, kudos to them.
Yeah. Amazing, isn't it? Oh, especially like keeping that mid-corner speed, especially with the MR car. You need to, one of the things is when you always talk, one of the things is you need to keep up that mid-corner speed. And these things are so skaty that it's very hard to have enough cojones to keep up the pace mid-corner in these things.
You can see that there. You see it there where he's come on the gas and almost sort of drifted it out of the corner in a way. And again, we'll still show the calibre of the field that we got here, that these cars are really hard to drive. And so far tonight, we haven't seen the Promo Safety Department car. So, we do sort of talk about how difficult we think they are, and everyone's still circling around, so it's great to see.
Awesome to see. We should be coming up to our last 2 laps, I'm pretty sure here. So we should be seeing about a white flag pretty soon, guys.
Well, we didn't see, Barney didn't have the white flag out that one around. So,
okay, cool, sweet. So we've got another 2 laps left, I suppose, after this.
He's just opening up his gap a little bit. So I think Adam Hughes is just getting it within a second now. So although there's no DRS here, so it'd have to be within a second, but he's got pace. And
definitely has pace.
His teammate down.
I think there might be try to hunt him down and just stay on him. But it does look like Stefan might be on a bit of a roll, and he might be on fire in his car tonight, because he is still kind of, he's keeping Adam out of his slipstream zone, and that is pretty hard to do. Especially
Adam took a second out of him last lap, but we've only talking 2 laps to go. It was a little deep there from Stefan.
Very deep.
That bunched it back up again. You can see how much it means to these boys, Adam's probably thinking on one side about the championship, but there's another car in front of him, and I don't think he likes that.
No racer does, do they? No racer does. Oh, beautiful.
Oh, he's pushing right.
Well, down through Marlborough, and then out of that exit of Renault. It's a very, very difficult little corner to get right. We saw a lot of spins out in the exit of Renault in the F3s, just because you have to take the exit quite wide. And to take that exit quite wide on the F3s, it spins you. Yeah, so.
A couple of Dines here trying to chase down Callan.
Chase down his teammate, yeah. Look at this.
Said, the boys are pushing hard, and this is getting to the business end of the race number 1. Still got another race to go. We'll get our 40-minute race following this one with one compulsory stop. Must change at least 2 tyres. So I think we've sort of looked at, I think some of the guys have experimented with only taking 2 tyres. This is the last lap now. So this is the last time.
Right rear locker. Oh no!
He's gone deep. Carter Dines, can he take advantage of it? Callan is holding his inside line there, and it's for the moment holds 6th position.
Lucky
Carter,
he's his teammate, hey, for crisscross too there. Because otherwise that could have gotten he would have just pounced on that and just driven away, I think.
Well, he's not done, but again, it's sort of one of those things that, you know, when you get near the end of the race, that you've used up the tyres and you're trying to push hard on it. The last thing you want to do is slide up into your teammate, so he might have taken it a bit easier there.
But at the same time, you're still like, yeah, I'm your teammate for every other lap of this race, but right now, last lap, no. I want to get past you.
Well, it's on. Boys pushing hard. Out front, Adam Hughes is only 0.3 seconds behind Stephen McCartan right on the back.
Oh, here we go. And Alex Court, how much has Alex Court caught these boys
He's
up
about
as well?
7 seconds back, so it's all down to these two. Are we coming down the last? And that we have gone, and that is Stephen McCartan with the win. Great effort from him. Adam Hughes in 2nd position. Alex Court finishing over the line. On the podium, Robbie Griffiths in 4th position. Another consistent finish from Robbie.
And Greg Leake, great drive. A little earlier incident with netcode, I think it was, and stuff like that. But he's had a great drive. He's up 3 positions.
Adam and Alex just having a chat about that little bump there. It was maybe a bit of netcode from the as well, but the boys are, you know, kissing and making up in the chat, so it's great to see.
That's good. That's good. Everyone's respectful. Everyone respects each other and that sort of stuff. So,
we want everyone to race hard, you know.
Yeah.
And you know, we know that people make mistakes. It's when you keep making the same ones that people start to
and
question
we're all people.
things.
Sometimes we lose our temper and all the rest of it. So we're all human. You know, sometimes you lose your temper and you're in a heat of the moment, and then you straight away go, oh, actually, no, I didn't really mean that. I was just, you know.
Well, it's one of those things, you know, perspective can be a wonderful thing sometimes too, so.
Oh, 100%. You see it in motorsport all the time, you know, all over the place, and drivers straight after the race when they're still heated and someone shoves a microphone in your mouth in front of your face. What are you supposed to say, you know, when you're still, like, raging?
Race Control was just commenting then and saying that, you know, he thought it was, you know, fairly fair battle between Alex and Adam. It cost them both a position, sort of, 'cause maybe both of them deemed it at fault or equally at fault. So Race Control seems to be happy with the outcome.
So we'll call that a racing incident then.
Yeah, netcode incident is what he's called it there. So
cool. Well, that's good. Well, it's going to make it very interesting for this second race tonight. The 40-minute race, which is going to be very, very good to see. See how fast these guys can do. We'll see a lot of teamwork tonight, guys, I think, with this second race, especially the pointy end of the season. It's getting pretty crazy close.
Final car, George Minnis and Team Greg coming over the line. I think George got caught up there at the start and just maybe struggling for a bit of outright pace in these cars. All right, so we've got a 5-minute warm-up now, so perhaps it's now time for you guys to go and get yourselves a drink, and don't forget to like and subscribe and give us a share, and check out our Enduro series coming up. We've got all of the action that an Enduro brings ahead, and here it is. And We are back with SRW TV. There's a great Enduro series coming up, so make sure you sign up for that, guys. I'm still trying to work out if I'm going to be talking about it or racing in it. So we'll have to see, what decision I make there, because I haven't yet.
Decisions, eh?
That's it. No, look, it's going to be great fun, I think, to talk about it and commentate, and it'd be great fun to race it too. So I'm still very much undecided. But
Or
yeah.
maybe you can get your racing fix in practice, and then you can be in a comms box with us.
We'll have to see how it all plays out, buddy.
Yeah.
I'm
There was
staying
hesitation
cheeky.
there. He sounds like he wants to race.
just staying
No, we
cheeky,
love watching
buddy.
you racing. We love being. I love being in the comm box while you're on track as well. So either way, mate, happy to commentate on you, or happy to watch.
Talk
Happy
about
to,
me or to me is that what you're saying?
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. That's good.
That's it. Awesome. There's been some quite interesting race number one. Again, a smaller field tonight. It's always a problem that we have in these sort of leagues, as it starts to get down to the business end. Maybe some of the guys that haven't had a great season, maybe find other commitments that take them away, and they can't, devote the same amount of time to the sim racing. You tend to devote more to it when you're somewhere in the contention, don't you?
Yeah, you do. Most definitely. And sometimes it's inevitable. Sometimes it's like, you're so far out of the point. Sometimes it's a bit hard, and sometimes other things come up. So,
well, that's right.
I completely understand.
We are still trying to grow everything here at Sim Racing World. So, the racing side of it and all of the sign-ups. So I know that the boys are planning a big season ahead. So stay tuned there, and you should see it through all of our social media platforms. And but the idea is to get as many guys involved on track and off track, and we can really sort of promote this passion that we love. Sim racing. I've certainly spent enough money on it, buddy. So
yeah, and it's such an amazing community, honestly, guys. Get involved, hey, get involved, come and have a race with us. Even if you want to just jump in and you're not really confident to jump in a series straight away. Even if you want to come and do practice sessions with us and stuff like that, you're more than welcome.
That's right.
And it's
this Saturday night is the Not Mayhem Saturday night.
Not Mayhem, yep.
Yeah, Rallycross in the V-dubs. They're a pretty cool car doing Rallycross, actually.
They are so much fun.
I'll have to see if I've got a paint sorted out for them.
And they literally use all the track, which is fucking amazing.
All right, so race number 2. We have a reverse grid 40-minute race. So that puts George minus Team Greg on pole position. Dean Singovich in second position. Kyle Zink and Callan Hodgkinson third and fourth on the grid. Carter Dines, Crisscross Esports. Another team, Greg Leake at sixth position. Robbie Griffiths with Fishy Motorsports. Alex Court after us, Sim Racing. Adam Hughes, Crisscross Esports. And Stephen McCann and Crisscross Racing on the back of the grid after his dominant win in race 1.
Nice. Who would you be your standout for race 1?
Look,
I think that earlier, but
it was interesting. I think Stephen probably he was the Johnny on the spot and ready to take advantage of Alex and Adam battling it out there, and then he brought it home. So all right, we're on the grid. 5 lights. Might have changed camera, buddy. We can't see anything. The guys are going. They're racing down. We can just see them over the barricade. And that Dean Singovich has got a great run up on the inside of George.
Oh, he has. Oh, straight down the inside. Dean Singovich had a great start. Oh, wonder what's happened to George Minus there.
Well, I'm going to have to look on the on your Discord stream here, buddy, because something's going on with my iRacing. I can't see a thing. So Dean Singovich taking the pack away. That's Kyle Zink, has had a great move up into second position. That Greg Leake that's fallen well back in 9th position, so plenty of wheel spin up the line. Looks like I've got my
George Minus
so what he did there
as well. So I'm not sure what's happened to George Minus. It looked like he, on turn 1 at Tarzan, he just got right off the gas and just went really wide, and everyone just let everyone by.
Yeah, he did get quite a bit of wheel spin off the line there, so I think he might have just found himself well out of it and get swamped by all the other cars.
Bit of a
Kyle's
battle
trying to
here
put
for
the pressure
turn
hard
one.
on Ding. Yep. Also seeing the two, is that Carter Dines and Callan Hodgson third and fourth in behind. So Stephen McCartan
Look at that,
and
putting
Adam
pressure
Hughes
on.
made up 3 positions each so far at the start of this race.
Oh,
Also,
yeah.
Stephen has got 4, sorry. So,
Yeah, and Alex has got 3.
Oh, no!
Oh, whoa, what's happened there? Whoa, no.
That's
Got
Alex
a massive
Court
incident.
and Callan Hodgson. Massive incident
Oh,
there. Might try and have
just
a look at
cat
a
to court
DSL
the back
welding
one.
replay there. He's got on the inside of the track there. I don't know if he knew he was there.
Oh, he's just, yeah, he didn't look like he did.
That's horrible for Alex. But I don't think that Callum knew he was on the outside of him there. So that might be a little penalty from race control coming Callum's way.
Yeah, it didn't look like you could see him at all. So that's unfortunate there for
Move up
Callum.
the inside there.
Oh, bit of a push there from Kyle.
Yeah, bit of
Bit of a
bippo and
touch.
a lock up from Dean as a result. Definitely a bit of bippo in that pass, I think.
There's definitely a bit of uncouth driving there.
Oh, I don't know. It's uncouth. You know, again, I mean, we've talked about cold tyres. I think they did well, both of them, not to end up with the gravel. So we'll leave it to race control to make those sort of comments.
Yeah, most definitely. I wasn't passing any judgment whatsoever. It was just a slight comment there. So we got
trying to set up Dean here for a pass. And we're looking at Adam Hughes already up into 5th position. Stephen McCartney into 3rd.
already. He's back down into 4th now. He's up 6 positions, 7 positions.
Who's that?
What we've had to happen there?
Who was that on the outside? That was
Kyle Zinks had a bit of a moment. He was leading the race here, guys, and he's had a bit of a moment through Vodafone here. He had a bit of on the exit of Vodafone. Oh, that's a strange place to do it. Oh, cold tyres.
He's done well to get out of the mess there.
He's definitely got to back it into the wall, hey?
Yeah, he'll be gutted with that, though.
You'd be gutted, but at the same time, you'd be very, very glad you don't have a banged-up car, so you can at least kind of try and make some spots back. And as we know, Kyle is great at a comeback, so he loves a good comeback, Kyle. It's interesting to see. Greg Leake with our fastest lap so far. Obviously, it's only the first, but you know, coming up onto our second lap
race
now.
control was saying there, so I'm gonna have to keep an idea and see if they put up anything in the notes. They were just talking about the incident. I think there might have been a couple of little bumps with Alex and Callum in the corner before. So actually missed race controls made a judgment on that or not. But again, we're just watching this action here. The guys are starting to get the tyres up to 10, starting to find where they can push.
Ooh, bit of a lock up there.
Singovich.
Oh, for Robbie Griffiths. Oh, and Dean Singovich and Greg Leake into the side of Dean Singovich as well. Oh, no. What's happened there? Oh, that was a chain reaction of events, I think.
Dean is talking about there maybe being a bump there involved in that, so... Safety car has been called out by... safety car has been called out by race control. We might try and move forward so we can have a look and see what happened to Dean then.
We've got a lot of banged up cars now.
It's a bit early to take... so he's been in the rear there.
Yeah, he's been turned around there. Oh, I think I was just a bit late under brakes. Funny lines on... There's a lot of... There was almost three wide trying to go through a corner that should really only be taken 1 wide, really.
The boys are pushing hard. Just having a look here, so we're on board with Dean at the moment. He's just got bumped.
Contact.
I don't know if there was anything in that, but definitely that was heavy contact.
They were definitely trying to give each other room, so...
Pits, race control surprising that the pits are actually closed at the moment, so these guys are going to have to carry their wounded cars around a little bit longer.
Oh, they're looking pretty sad, these two Porsches at the moment. Oh, so we've got 5 people reset to the pits for damage. So we've got Mr. Sinkovich and...
No, it goes back to the pit, was it? Or there's cars that have gone into the pits. That'll be interesting, but I think some of them might have actually entered in before race control advised that the pits were closed.
I see.
See how he settles it up, I can see him probably letting Greg and Dean through there so that they can get back on the back.
Yeah, that left front hand suspension of Dean's car looks pretty banged up. It can't be fun in VR right now for him trying to drive in that situation. I'm sure he'd be feeling pretty sick after that massive shunt.
Yeah, I can't say that I'm a fan of VR myself, but then again, I haven't had a lot of experience. But then I'm one of those guys that can't read a book on a bus. So
yeah, yeah, I don't have the intestinal fortitude to do VR in this. No, it's just not. No.
But again, it is probably ultimate for immersion. I think the only
it would be amazing.
VR
I think that's why it's too immersive. Yeah.
Well, I think the only issue that VR has at the moment is that it's a bit like wearing blinders. As soon as when they can start getting the field of view a lot more around the side of your face, and you start getting to be able to use your peripherals, then it'll be amazing.
Like triple screen, triple screen VR.
Well,
they could actually kind of make that, couldn't they?
I'd love depth perception in my triples, but it doesn't quite work that way.
No. Look at this. So we're just on the safety car here, guys, at the moment. We've got Carter Dines in first, Greg Leake in second, Dean Sikovich in third.
So they didn't get to pit and they're damaged cars. How does that work?
Yeah, is that a bit of Abu Dhabi going on here? No.
Well, I don't know what's happened there, but that's going to be I think a bit of contention because you got the two wounded cars there that didn't get to pit at all.
And they were the victims in the situation also, it seems.
They were the victims, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just going to put them well behind.
Wow, that's going to be... I'm glad I'm not in race control box tonight, to be honest. I do not envy the job that they have to do, so big shout out.
Decide to disqualify or penalise all the cars that went into the pits when the pit lane was closed. So that will be interesting to see, because that very well could shake things up if race control makes that call.
Most definitely. And happening so early in the race as well. Starting so early in the race, having a safety car, etc. It's going to be very interesting towards the end of this race.
Effectively, our front row sitters for the start of this race, and both of them are effectively miles out of this race now, unless there's another safety car to bunch it back up again.
Yep. Especially with the pit time and fixing those banged up cars also. These guys sort of slotted in the pit window
they slotted in behind the safety car
pit stop, free damage pit stop, free fix up.
Well, that's the thing. I think the cars that weren't involved in it got the pit stop, and the guys that were damaged, right, got the biggest shunt. They got caught up by the safety car and didn't get to pit. It was only one lap.
Yeah. Interesting. We got controversy here at Zandvoort, guys.
Yeah. Might be some spicy conversation in the Discord.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I like it. It makes it very exciting, and it makes it very...
might have to look at the rule book, because they did make an adjustment to the rule book after sort of round 2 and round 3, I think.
Ooh.
About the safety car.
That's interesting. Oh, look how close that is.
I think it's going to be unfortunate, because I think under the general snip of the rules, reading them here, it's saying the pit lane will remain open if a safety car is deployed. The following exception: when the safety car crosses the start-finish line, the stewards will call the pit is closed. Any drivers in the pit lane may leave the pit box but must queue at the cones. So I don't know if there's anything in the rules there that stopped what happened, but that's unfortunate for Dean and Greg. But we can focus on the action here. Alex Court finds himself in 4th position. Carter Dines leading the pack away, and it looks like he's jumped about a second clear of Stephen McCartan at the moment. Adam Hughes hounding the back of his teammate. He's gone wide. Alex Court has taken a snip there. Has he done enough to get up the inside? Got a good run.
Oh, it's pretty solid.
Adam is maintaining the inside line for the next corner. Alex is going to have to get out of it.
Letting his teammate go.
And, yeah, look, No, it's not his teammate.
sorry.
Alex definitely pushing hard here, trying to get at him. This is his, the championship leader in front of him here. But you can see that, yeah, there was only one line through that chicane section there, and Alex quickly realised that and decided to let him through. But that was great. Some great action there. Adam not giving up the position and not giving up that inside line, and he's held it.
Alex is a beautiful drive, and these guys are already up. So Alex is up 4 spots. Adam Hughes is up 6 spots. Stephen McCartan up 8 spots, and Carton Dedine up 4 spots. So we've got some, and Robbie Griffiths up 2 spots. So we've got some definite movement after this. Shaking up the pack after the safety car, hasn't it?
I think we've had a penalty handed out for that incident that started between Dean and was it Callum, I think. So I think car 28, Callum Hodgkinson, is going to cop a drive-through penalty here.
Okay. We'll see.
On board with Robbie Griffiths and Kyle Zink hunting him down. Kyle was having a great run out in front there. Plenty to prove now. Got to forget about that mistake, buddy, and just get in there and race hard.
As we've seen in the last couple of rounds, he's good at a comeback, and he loves a good comeback. So I think he loves a bit of being the underdog and having to fight back. So he loves a good fight, a little bit of a dog fight in the car. So he's definitely one to watch.
Maybe what caught him out those first couple of laps, because again, cold tyres at the start of the race, a little bit too much.
And under pressure as well.
Oh, well, if you're at the front of this pack with all the calibre of the boys behind you, you know that you've only got to make one mistake or not be on it every corner for them to make a move. Oh, looks like we've had another little bump there. It was Carter Dines that's been penalised.
No, Carter Dines has been penalised.
Drive-through penalty.
Oh, SDK's just crashed. So, sorry guys. Oh, SDK is just...
we've still got some picture up there at the moment, buddy, so don't panic just yet, Shibby. Alrighty, well, we're back with the action here. Again, Kyle Zink pushing hard on the back of Robbie Griffiths.
Oh, he's going to be able to make this stick here. He is putting the pressure on. He's piling the pressure on here. And as we saw in the F3s, with the longer race, these guys were actually setting up the pass a couple of, 1 or 2 laps before they're actually going to make the pass. So we might see Kyle actually just try to put some pressure on Robbie here and try and show him a little bit of nose. See if he can try and get past him here and put a bit of pressure on him in this lap, and then you probably might see Kyle be able to get round Robbie next lap.
It will be interesting to see if these guys were able to put on enough fuel to do the rest of the race on these tyres. So that may well bring tyre degradation, into the factor here. We haven't really seen it a lot with the Porsches. They tend to be harder to drive when the tyre's cold. And even when the tyres do start to get a bit warm, because they've got that temperature in them, you can still hold the grip. So we'll have to see if tyre degradation becomes a factor. Again, that's only if they're able to put enough fuel on board.
Well, they only had a 55% capacity there, so I don't think that's going to be enough to do a 40 minutes round here. To be honest, I think they're going to have to do a splash, at least a splash, unless they're going to be able to just short shift it. But none of these guys seem like they're short shifting at all. Everyone seems like they're going pretty hard.
Well, we're only 14 minutes gone, so we've still got 26 minutes left. So about a third of the journey so far. Kyle pushing hard here. He's not looking after his tyres at the moment. It's all out attack on Robbie Griffiths here.
It is, yeah, all out attack. He's trying to put some pressure on and pile the pressure on, and possibly just try and stay in his draft as well, because Robbie Griffiths is locked onto Alex Court's draft, and if you want to be in someone's draft, you want to be in Alex's. But Alex is trying to shake him here and try to keep up with these crisscross boys and try and keep it going.
The double trouble duo out front once again. Stephen's got in front of Adam, so it'll be interesting to see if Adam can chase him down. Again, these boys, in the last race, I don't think there was any team orders. They were prepared to battle hard, and again, Alex Court has he's got through it all as well, and he's able to get right up on the back here. So this battle that we've watched all season is set to start up once again, buddy.
Yeah, it's going to be so awesome when we see the second, and third, and fourth seasons and stuff like that. We'll have with the Porsches also, but the second season that we have it coming up as well. I think a lot of these guys that have improved over this first season, it'll be very interesting to see how much these guys have improved, and then also with all the new entrants and stuff like that we get, it'll be really quite cool to see that sort of skill level and how those guys that have been building this season do really well, how they do next season, I suppose.
I think as we've sort of said before, as I've said before, I love my V8s, and I know us Aussies and Kiwis tend to love our V8s, but we've, we SRW have brought a couple of cars on board here that have ended up being, a bit more of an excitement package as far as the driver goes than we sort of thought. These Porsches, again, sound like a simple car to drive, but then you turn all of the driver aids off and then give them another go. So it tends to give us some great, exciting racing, and the drivers, I think, are enjoying having to manhandle them, rather than just point and steer.
And they're so much different to the old car as well. So the old, is it the 991 and this is the 992? These are so much different driving style and all the rest that you have to really manage this car a lot more than the previous version of this car.
Again, we've also seen a big influx of interest for our Radicals season, and actually I think next season they're already talking about the Radicals will have its full weekly season rather than just being a fortnightly one with the F3. So, it goes to show you don't just have to put on content or focus around the V8s to get drivers involved. It's great to see some other cars getting some of the limelight, and great to see that the drivers are really enjoying racing them. Or Alex tried to go deep there. I don't know if Adam just maybe got a bit offline then, and Alex thought he saw an opportunity, but that sort of got himself offline there. But quickly back onto the back. Okay, there's pedal 1, 2, 3. Yeah.
Robbie seems to be about that consistent sort of gap there, so he's definitely not in the slipstream anymore of Alex Court, so he's kind of falling back a little bit here, but he's definitely opened up a bit of a gap to Kyle behind him by the looks of it. So as we've seen a lot of Robbie Griffiths, he loves to get some clean air, and he'll sit in this spot for the rest of this race, and it'll be very interesting to see whether, I'm not sure whether he'll be able to catch this battle pack. It's pretty hard to catch a battle pack of Stefan, Adam and Alex, to be honest.
Oh, as long as they start fighting each other and jostling for positions, then he's got a chance. Again, as we said, we're not even halfway of this race, coming just into the 19th minute now, so almost halfway. So there is still time to get it done, but he can't let that gap sort of, build out too much more. But looks like Stefan has just got some good pace up front. He doesn't look like he's holding up Adam, and therefore, not holding up Alex either. So Robbie's just got to stay in here, and the guys are going 3 wide up the front there, looking for a bit of fresh air.
We should see people from pretty soon some people start to pit and things like that from about that halfway mark.
Yeah, well,
but we have seen the last couple of rounds people. A lot of them actually, most people kind of pitting about that 26, 27 minute mark, but then some guys pushing it out to as much as 32, 33, 34 minutes.
I think it's a little bit different with these cars because the tyres take so long to get up to temp. It doesn't seem like that the undercut is quite as effective, because you come out on cold tyres and you're doing the same lap times as the guys in front of you because they've got hot tyres. Or worse. Normally it's the other way around. You see that tyre degradation come into play, and when you put some fresh rubber on and you're a second and a half a lap quicker than the guys in front, and that undercut becomes very much the ploy to move you off the grid. But these cars, we've seen guys pit early. Partly because of the safety car tonight, but in other of the extended rounds, they pitted early so that they're not on cold tyres near the end of the race.
100%.
So again, I think as we said before, it comes down to that fuel limit. Were they able to get enough fuel into the car to get round to the finish? Because these cars pitted on lap 3 and 4. Right, so...
Yeah, true. They probably won't need to, yeah.
Well, we don't know. That was early in the race, buddy, that perhaps the pit window wasn't open. I can't see them going for tyres again. They've done their tyre stop already.
Yeah.
So it may well just be a splash and dash, like you said before. Or Dean Sinkovich.
Oh, we've got Adam Hughes gotten a bit wide there. So Alex Cord is slotted into second there. Oh, and he's been a bit later on the brakes there too.
There we go, yeah.
The DSL Welding Services Action Replayer.
They've got out of the groove there. He's carried a good run. Looks like another net coat little bump there, I think.
Yeah, it does.
And
it looks weird.
You can see that the car sort of... His steering went sort of to the left and he had to straighten it. And, you know, when you get that snap oversteer, the car's telling you where it's going, not where you want it to go.
Yeah, 100%. You're a passenger at that point, aren't you?
So he did well to hang on to it, and he's still in the mix.
Yeah, you just have to be a passenger for a split second and then try and catch it.
Oh.
You've only got one split second to catch it, though. If you don't catch it at that point, yeah.
Some of us with our direct drive wheels, buddy, you know, when it reefs back hard sometimes.
Yes, I hear you, mate. Oh, my thumbs know all about it, to be honest. From Saturday Night Mayhem. Yeah, that's the reason why I like to produce and just commentate on Saturday nights, because my hands do not feel very good on Sundays otherwise.
So maybe that's the first showing that the boys weren't able to get enough fuel. Greg Leake has pitted for a second time.
He has. Okay.
So perhaps
that might be a telling.
It could well be. We don't know. There could be some fuel saving going on.
Greg Leake was one of the cars that had a lot of damage. It couldn't go for that early pit as well. So he's probably just pitted just for repairs and not for gas, and probably had to get a bit more gas now. Maybe.
I don't know, because I think both him and Dean went in as the safety car came out. So as the safety car left on that last lap, and that put them that 30 seconds down. Again, we'll have to see what the fallout of that will be. But again, it's just looking at reading of the rules. I think the pit lane's supposed to be open, so...
Interesting. Very interesting. Dean Sinkovich now.
They've got their own battle going on here, though.
Yeah, great little battle here with Greg Leake and Dean Sinkovich. These guys love a good battle. These guys always have a good battle.
Talking about. So Greg's come out on cold tyres, right, and Dean's tyres are already up to 10. And you can just see how much he's on the back of him already. You know,
but you can see, like, in the exit of the corner, like, Greg's all sketchier. And then, look, and how much more Dean can suck that car into the apex more than Greg Leake. And this is a perfect one on the gyro cam here, guys.
The front end just seems to wash out on you and you end up with, or can't get any sort of rotation on the car because it just seems to want to wash out. Things like, Dean is right on the limit there. He's caught it
oversteer there.
He's caught it well, but he wants to get this job done. Trying to set Greg up here.
Well, he's definitely it seems like Dean's still got a lot of confidence in his tyres. So
Greg got a great exit through a couple of those corners. He was able to clear the gap there. Again, the tyres are cold, but they're probably better. So there'll be elements where he can get a better exit, and it's all about just minimising that wheel spin. But a good battle here at the back end of the order. And as I said, even though these guys, I think, were both the unfortunate recipients of what happened, it's good to see that they can find their own bit of fun out the track and battle each other.
Yeah, and they actually just kind of stick together and have their own little bit of a race. And let race control deal with it later.
That's it. I think I've said plenty of times before. I'm not fast enough to be battling up front. So for me, it's all about the battles. If I'm battling for 30th, as long as I'm having a great battle, I'm enjoying myself.
Me too, 100%. I'm very much the same. I in no illusion that I have nowhere near as much pace as these guys.
All right, now we are back at the front with the fast boys.
Here we go. Stephen McCartan with a great race as well. Alex Court still up in second there. Adam Hughes with a little bit of an incident. Adam Hughes is slotted him. He's still in third there. We'll see how far is Robbie Bridges there behind him. Okay, sorry guys, we're having some technical issues here.
It's all right. So I
But all
was
good.
just having a little bit of a listen to race control then, and they've deemed the incident between Alex and Adam as a racing incident.
Okay. Yeah. It didn't seem that there was all that much in it, so okay, racing incident. Okay. Like what? Yeah, did that to
Okay,
me.
just having a listen to race control there, and he's apologising for the kerfuffle with the safety car, so they will review that and try to make sure that it doesn't happen again. But race control owning that one, so
I don't think.
it
I
is
think it
what we
seemed like
thought.
it was a bit out of their control. To be honest, it seemed like a bit of a
Well, I
racing
think they.
glitch there. I think so.
Oh, I think maybe he talked about the pits being closed, but there were cars that were already in the pit lane, so therefore, probably should have let Dean and Greg pit as well then, because they basically ended up effectively losing half a lap then because of that. But that's all right. Look, we as long as we learn from mistakes. Oh, nice move there.
Whoa, what a move!
No, it was Dean getting out of the way. So
Just getting out of the way. Oh yeah, it's for a back marker. Yep, true. It's Stephen McCartan, our race leader.
oh, look,
We
I
should
could
have.
spot to let him through though. Look cool.
I did. Very good. And Alex caught with some serious pace along here, but going through these back markers in this longer race, guys, it's going to be, this is where it becomes very interesting because it's not the fact that they're back and, they're slower cars or anything. It's the fact that it's such a narrow track. And for people to try and get out of the way, there's only certain spots that people even can get out of the way of a faster car or
And you get
a
yourself
faster car can pass. Yeah.
float up into the marbles to let them through, and then find you've got to deal with marbles for the next few corners yourself. You end
Yeah,
up
because your
spinning,
tires are dirty and yeah,
That's
exactly
right.
right.
So, and we like to think that iRacing seems to be getting better and better and closer to realism. Obviously, it's pretty hard to simulate all of those G-forces and the realism that comes with driving a proper race car. But then again,
Oh, it's
guys like
pretty
me are
amazing.
never really going to get that opportunity. So, if I can do it in my lounge room, and press reset if I bid the car, that cost me thousands, then I'm happy there.
I'm 100% in agreement with that. Even if I had all the money in the world and I won the lotto or whatever, I wouldn't. They'd never let me drive one of these. They'd never let me drive a bloody a GT3 race car. They'd never let me in real life drive one. They're like, oh, you can pay for one for like a couple of laps, but we'd never let you like actually on a racetrack other people. And you know what I mean? That might, or like if I paid enough, but
there's plenty of places that offer you those track day experiences and that, which is
yeah,
cool.
but you couldn't in the same day sit there and go, oh, I don't really feel like doing Zandvoort at the moment. I want to go to Winton instead in a GT4 car.
That's true.
Yeah.
There's very few people around the world that have the money to do that. Fly a chopper to the track they want to drive out that day.
Yeah,
but
exactly
that
right.
is the
So I
beauty
see
of sim racing.
it is the beauty of sim racing, and you can see that there's so much of a correlation between sim racing and actual real drivers, and all real race teams actually use a lot of these programs. And
the tracks are laser scanned. I mean, the cars are getting closer and closer. There's very much it's the telemetry you get through the wheel, through the force feedback in your wheel, rather than that seat of the pants feel you get in a real car.
Yeah, because 70% of what you get in how you drive a car, 70% is that through your bum.
Yeah, that's
believe
right.
it or not. So.
But again, I mean, we've got equipment these days, load cell pedals and even hydraulic pedal setups that, really, they seem to be the big difference. If I had a bit of advice for any sim racer, looking to try and find speed, the biggest upgrade you can do is your pedals. Get your pedals first. That's where you find seconds. Right?
Yeah. And what would your recommendation for what's your recommendation for pedals? Like,
well, I think most of your entry wheel and pedal setups will be gear-driven wheels and potentiometer pedals.
Yeah,
so that's a pedal
100%,
where it measures how far you move the pedal.
Yeah. How
The
much
next
it turns
step,
around on
the step
point.
up, and where most of us semi-serious sim racers find ourselves would be load cell pedals. So that's where it's basically got the load cell out of a set of scales, and instead of measuring how far you move the pedal, it measures how far you press the pedal, how hard you press it. So therefore, they talk about muscle memory is much easier to remember how hard you press something than how far you press it. So that's why you see when guys jump up into load cell pedals, especially a load cell brake, they'll instantly find better feel of the pedal, be able to brake deeper, and suddenly find seconds that they didn't know were on the table.
And then we go down. Then you go down the road of bananas, hydraulic pedals, and
Oh, that's right. But then again, it's also been shown that aliens are aliens no matter what the gear you give them.
yeah,
You know?
100%. Yep.
You can put some of those guys on a G27 and they still flog everyone's butt, you know.
Yep.
And
Exactly
you know,
right.
there is a certain amount of sort of innate skill involved, and I suppose it's one of the things we love. I mean, all of the explosion in esports and gaming around the world is because there's actually some skill involved in it. It's not just smashing buttons.
Yeah, 100%.
And
You know.
and anytime you bring skill into a pastime, you're going to find people that want to watch it.
Yeah.
So we're inside the last 10 minutes of this action, buddy. Stephen McCartan has a 2.3 second lead over Alex Court in second position. Adam Hughes, our current series leader, in third position, about a second back from Alex.
Alex is trying to put a bit of a gap in between him and Adam at the moment, though. He's trying
to chase down seventh. He's trying to chase down seventh. You can see him there. And I reckon he's thinking, yeah, you're a bit too far up the road for my liking at the moment, buddy. Just come back a bit.
Yeah, most definitely. He's trying to break the toe behind him as well, but I'm sure his teammates not going to try and do that at the moment. For this last 10 minutes, Adam is going to try and put some serious pressure onto the back of Alex, as you can see. Coming down through the S's here. He's very late on braking, trying to really get onto the back of him.
I mean, looking at this, doesn't look like these guys are fuel saving at the moment.
Doesn't at all, hey?
Yeah, so, I mean, I can't see a splash and dash on the cards at the moment.
No.
We've got about 7 minutes
pit stop, everyone's
left.
chucked in some gas there. Then maybe.
Gas. So it's a sprint to the flag now. And Adam Hughes pulling out a 1:38.4.
That's a
and he's gone deep there. He's gone deep.
Oh no, Adam Hughes.
Yeah.
Just had a bit of a moment there towards the end of the race here, guys.
Might try and have a look at that if we can. Can we have a look at replays, or we're out of? Okay, it looks like we can't go. Unfortunately, Shibby's having some technical difficulties with SDK, so we'll just stick with the action here. We did see what happened there. He basically went deep. He'd be kicking himself, and probably now maybe just looking to settle in and take that third position. Oh, here we go. We're going to replay.
Here we go.
Yeah, there we go. So he's tried to stick that in and carry heaps of speed. He didn't lock it up, but I reckon he's realised that if he tried to press the brake any harder, he would have locked up.
Yeah, 100%. It was one of those points he would have had to make that decision. Stamp on the brake now, lock it up, or go onto the grass and don't lock it up. Because, you know, there's always that risk of, if you lock it up, that risk of spinning.
No,
so I'd rather go straight in the line and go off into the marbles a little bit and kind of save it that way than try to put too much on the brake there. We've got George Minus into the pits here.
Pits again. So George is having some issues here.
Doesn't have anything wrong with his car here. He might have just
maybe he didn't put fuel in that other stop. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, it's unfortunate for George there.
Oh, well,
Stephen with a great race.
We've got almost 5.5 minutes left of this race. We're going to start to have a think about who we're going to bring into the commentaries tonight. Obviously, the three podium cars will get their limelight and chance to talk about their sponsors. Just saying that, we'll talk about our sponsors as well. Don't forget, it's a big thanks to DSL Welding Services for sponsoring this series and all of our series as the SRW major sponsor. Promo department for all your promo needs. Great to have them on board. We actually did get to see the promo safety car tonight, guys, so that's great. And Dragonrc, it's great to have them on board, and they've got a great little ad package that we put up at the start of the race for them. And the other thing I will say, guys, if you want to get on board with SRW Racing, come and join us. We've got our big Enduro series coming up in April. Follow the links. Go to simracingworld.com.au. You'll find links there to our Enduro series. Sign up and join in on all the fun.
Yeah, it's going to be super awesome to see these Enduro series. It always makes for some very, very interesting racing, and As you can see, as you know, even with our slightly longer formats of the 40-minute race that we've seen here, you see a lot of action, you see a lot of tactics and a lot of strats. So it's going to be very cool to see the enduros. It's going to be
The
very
way
cool
this
to
has
see.
been going, you wouldn't even think that we've only had like 10 cars out on the grid tonight. So, there has been some good battles going on. Obviously, we'd love to see, big fields, and it's definitely sort of all a work in progress here at Sim Racing World TV. But, the plan is to just grow and become bigger and bigger, and more of you guys that support us and jump on board, subscribe, give us a like, and get involved. The bigger this league will be.
Yeah.
We're not trying to make a crust out of this. This is all about trying to, race with mates and have a great time and see if we can run a successful league that, is financially viable and has a great following. That's all we can wish for.
Yeah, build an awesome community, and it's already an amazing community. How much everybody sort of helps each other and things. We've had a few things happen throughout the series and stuff like that, and we've honoured it as a community, as honoured people as community.
People are passionate, mate, and you'll end up with racing incidents where you don't agree with what happened, and there'll be contentious calls. But that's
the beauty of it. There's the highs
it.
and the lows, right?
Yeah,
and
we want people to be passionate about it.
Mm.
If no one cares, then it ends up being boring.
Yeah, 100%. If something unjust happens to you and you don't say anything about it, you need to be passionate about it to, really care about it, and it really shows when people get very passionate about something that they should really care about it, and that's really awesome.
I mean, I do say that I'm not, I'm not the fastest, and I'm, really going out there to win, but secretly I am.
Definitely. We're all very super competitive people, aren't we?
That's it, man. That's it.
And that's the thing.
Inside the last 2 minutes, I don't
Here we
know.
go.
We'll have to keep an eye out on Barney the flag man to see if there's another lap following this. But Stephen McCartan looks
Stephen
to
McCartan, he won the first round. Is it the second one? Pretty much locked up, you reckon? He's 1.3 seconds ahead here, so...
He's just maintaining this distance. Alex is trying hard to catch up to him, but Stefan so far has driven a supreme race. Both races tonight. He managed to be Johnny on the spot when Alex and Adam had a run-in race 1, and in race 2 he got to the front quickly and hasn't looked back.
We got one of the Crisscross 2 boys just trying to get out of the way of Stefan McCartan and Alex Court. He picked a really nice spot to be able to do it, and he let these guys pass without being able to lose too much pace. So the battle is still on. Alex still is hunting hard, but I don't think he's going to have enough space.
Don't like to get involved in that sort of stuff as a back marker. You just want to get out and let them race. You'd like to think that they'd do the same for you if they were a back marker and you're racing up front. So yeah, and that's one of the things. I must admit, a couple of years in the iRacing sim racing community, but a couple more before that, before I really sort of took the dive. But I don't think I've really met anyone on here that I actually really disliked or held a grudge against, and that shows a lot. We've got passionate racers, and in the end we can have a laugh and a drink about it and look forward to the next time we race together.
Exactly right. And we just had Barney waving the white flag there. So, guys, we're on our last lap here, guys. Stephen McCartan, the battle's still on with the battle with Stephen McCartan and Alex Court here. Is Alex Court going to be able to put on any pressure, or is Stephen just playing with him here a little bit?
He's got it down to 0.6 of a second, so he's taken about a second out of him in the last lap and a half.
Pressure's on. This last lap here. Kumo, this is the second last turn. Maybe I'm in the wrong spot I'm on the wrong bearing of the track there.
I wasn't even going to try and guess where I was.
So this is Renault through here. Then when you come down on that sweeping right-hander, which is called Vodafone, on the last lap of this race, guys, through Vodafone, a beautiful exit here from both of them on the power early. Coming down into the Audi S's.
From Alex, he's closing the gap. Is he going to have one big last move?
I think he'll be trying to make it on that very last
exit
corner.
there. Carried some speed up.
I think he'll be trying to do it on the exit of Ari, which is turn 14, which is coming onto the main last straight. Will he be able to make it happen?
He's carried
now
a
they're
lot
coming
more
through to
speed than
Kumo.
Stefan there. Closing prior. Is the draft going to be enough?
Oh, the exit's going to be all what it's about. He's trying to do the shake and bake, get him out of the way. Come on, whoa.
And Stefan McCartan has taken out both races tonight with a dominant night of racing from him. Great work there.
Alex
Ford
caught
in
with a
second
great
position.
fight back, and then a great push up from down back further and down on the in the field.
Adam Hughes, another podium drive, has probably done enough to keep himself well out in front of this season. And we do have the triple point enduro round remaining, so I doubt it he's got it fully wrapped up. But it's always good to be leading the pack when you come into the last round.
Oh, most definitely. Robbie Griffiths with another solid drive as well. Kyle Zink with a little bit of an early incident, so he did well to fight back though. So as we were saying earlier, he did really well to fight back. Carter Dines with that slight incident race control, and he had to do a stop go penalty.
Yeah, I'm just going to put a note in to get the boys down into chat.
Maybe you can. Right. Would you like to lead all the interviews tonight?
Yeah, I'm happy to do that, buddy.
Awesome.
All right. I'm just
you've intimately raced with these guys and against these guys also, so.
Oh, I'm not at the same caliber of these fast guys. I get to talk to them every week because they keep winning all these races.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, so I'm just waiting for the boys to jump down to the green room. So maybe you can put up the results for race number 2 there for us, buddy. I mean, that's what we can't. So we're going to have to call it out. So Stefan McCartan, a great drive, taking out race 1 and 2. Alex Court in second position. Adam Hughes in third. Robbie Griffiths, 2 solid drives, I think, off the podium in both races tonight. But found himself in a bit of air there, and he's good enough to.
He loves a bit of clean air, doesn't he?
Kyle Zink in 5th position. Carter Dines in 6th. Callum Hodgkinson, Greg Leake, and Dean Sinchevich. Greg in 8th, Dean Sinchevich in 9th, and Greg George Minnis in 10th. Unfortunately, Dean and George both getting called out with that safety car incident. Alrighty, so we've got the boys in the green room. Let's drag all 3 of them down and have a chat and see what they've got to say about tonight's race. Well, boys, it was a great night of racing from you 3. We'll start with you, Stefan. Found yourself in the box seat in race 1 to take advantage of the boys getting together, and race 2, you ran away with it, buddy.
Yeah, no, it was a pretty good race. Yeah, I'm a bit unfortunate with those guys with a bit of net code there, just causing a bit of an incident. But yeah, went to the inside, got a clean run, and then there was a little bit of a kerfuffle with the pits being closed and stuff in the second race. But yeah, I'll take it. You take them as you get them.
Yeah, well, I didn't know if race control was going to penalise the entire field there, but unfortunately, Greg and Dean, I think, were the one guys that got caught out then. But you had your mirrors full pretty much all both of those races, Stefan. Was you finding it hard to keep the boys behind you, or was it just about it being smooth in this car?
Yeah, the first one I was pretty comfortable with Adam being behind me. Obviously, being teammate, we did a little bit of team orders in that first one. The second one with Alex, this is a very tricky track to overtake, just in general due to the nature of it. So I was just really keeping it smooth, hitting my markers, and then if he caught me, then so be it. If he didn't, then I'll take the win. Which, if had it gone another 2 or 3 laps, he would have been there because he was only a few tenths away off the finish line. But yeah, I just try to keep it smooth and consistent and just drive my own race.
It seemed to be a bit hard to really send it out there. We noticed that Alex, you went deep a couple of times just trying to send it into turn 1. I think Adam had the same issue there, trying pushing hard at the end of the race. But was it hard to follow, buddy?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I mean,
is it?
Yeah, look, tonight, I'm actually lucky to be racing, to be honest. I'm feeling pretty crook. So
Yeah,
I
buddy.
wasn't even sure I was going to make it to race. So
Well, we certainly happy that you managed to make it along tonight and put on some good action. You were definitely pushing hard there, buddy. But it just seems to be a fine limit with these cars. It takes a long time to get them up the temp.
100%. Yep. No, you're not wrong. So, yeah, look, it was, yeah, the race was good. Good hard battle there with Adam and Stefan there in the second race. So, you know, look,
Sorry, go,
happy overall.
Alex.
I'm happy overall tonight. So yeah,
Oh, that's good, mate. If you feel a bit under the weather, then at least
yeah.
you got yourself up the front there and we're battling. So we were certainly appreciative of it. So Adam, was it a bit of just keeping an eye on your championship tonight, buddy, making sure that no one got into your side door, or were you just trying to battle hard like you do every week?
No, it's just more let Stefan take the glory because he needs the points at the moment. I've been sort of lucky this whole season with next to no crashes, sort of the first half of the season, and Stefan's just been sort of at the wrong place at the wrong time and just lost out on good valuable points. So I've decided to, well, basically we've both come to the decision that he's better off to have the points more than me. Because I think the next person behind me was Alex, I'm pretty sure, and he obviously had a sabbatical last week with Snedden, so that sort of hurt him with the points. So I thought, yeah, might as well just let Stefan do it. But tonight was alright. First race was good. Second race, the crew chief had underfueled me, so I was trying to hang back behind Alex for a while and clutching everywhere I possibly could, but I ended up crossing the line with 0.3 litres of a tank over the line. So
We commented on that.
I'm just rolled over.
Well, that early safety car, we didn't know if that was inside a pit window or not. We thought a few of you might have to be sort of doing a bit of fuel saving there. So it was a bit going on.
Yeah, I was fuel saving too much, and actually not enough. And I think Rob probably caught me like 3 or 4 seconds on the last lap. So I was trying to sort of keep him behind because, like I said, I was literally coughing and spluttering over the line. So just got there in the nick of time.
We saw you go deep into turn one a couple of times, which was just getting harder and harder to pull it up. Do you think maybe that early stuff meant that the tyres were a bit rough too by the end?
Oh yeah, I think they were a little bit roughed up, and plus, kept having a few off tracks, and tyres got dirty, and I think I was just sort of just not concentrating, so it all blended into one major issue or problem. So that's probably more or less on me. So yeah.
Oh, we just thought you might have thought it was getting a bit boring and pedantic out there, so you had to create a bit of action. Go a bit deep here and wide there.
No, just losing concentration, not focusing, which is not usually what I do. But yeah.
Nah, it was good fun to watch tonight. We only had a small field. It's always a bit hard when we get toward the end of one of these seasons that the guys that aren't in contention tend to maybe have those sabbaticals. But you boys all enjoying racing together. I'll get a group answer from you there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, that's good.
You
That's
always
awesome,
enjoy
man.
close racing, so yeah.
Well, and it seems to be you three up the front, in most of these rounds. And I suppose you're getting used to each other's bumper bar and what the rear of the car looks like. But Stefan, we'll give you the first call, buddy. You're our race 1 and 2 winner tonight. So take it away. Shout out to your sponsors, mate, and a great drive. Congratulations.
Cheers, man. Yeah, just thanks to Smoke Studio in Victoria, Jennifer Ross Real Estate in New Plymouth, KYB, and AE Boards in Gold Coast. And just cheers for Adam as well for being the number 2 driver for a change.
Awesome, buddy. Obviously, if we asked Adam, do you have any separate sponsors yourself, Adam?
No, this is pretty much what Stefan's pretty much rattled off. Pretty much what he said is pretty much the people I'm sort of running with too. So I'm running under his bandwagon or his banner rather. So just thank those guys and yourself, Toddy, Nathan, obviously Alex and the rest of the boys in the in the race, and obviously RC as well for sticking around and doing their bit every night, every week. So yeah.
Yeah, look, it's a thankless job. We all know the race control is a thankless job, and there will always be contentious moments. But it's good to see, you guys are building up a rapport with them, and we want the racing to be good, hard, and fair, and we want the lines to be clear and not blurry, I suppose, as well. Now, Alex, Alex, so got yourself up on the podium, buddy, so you can plug your sponsors as well, mate. Take her away.
Yeah, so as always, DSL Welding and Racing with Autism. Corp IT, Dragon RC, Above and Below Stump Grinding, Tree Minded, Mod Tint, ABC Transport, AA Designs, DSL Welding, and Racing with Autism Australia. Also, shout out to Gary Bradshaw, as always, for tuning in from New Zealand. All the boys at After Dark. Scotty for crew chiefing tonight. I want to give a special shout out to Josh Clark for helping me today to make some adjustments on my rig. Yeah, wouldn't have been racing if he hadn't have helped me today. So, you guys in the broadcast, all the admin behind the scenes. Yeah, hopefully I haven't forgotten anyone.
Oh, well, Toddy, you got any questions for the boys before we let them go?
No, I just think it's been really, really exciting, guys. I just wanted to shout you all out and just say it's been really exciting racing. And this triple points enduro for the last one of Imola is going to be absolutely insane. Have you guys got any comments you wanted to kind of, or any thoughts about next week for the final round? You thinking anything's going to happen or anything to look out for?
Well, me personally first. I would need to worry about the radicals first before the Porsches. I've got a 12-point margin in that, so all focus will be on that at the moment. But yeah, look, I'm looking forward to it. Think I still have a small chance of grabbing P3 in the Drivers' Championship. Obviously
I
last
think
week.
there might have been a sneaky viper on one of the other drivers to maybe give Adam a bit of hard time in the last enduro.
Yeah.
Is that the call, Adam? Is that you're going to have to try and stay out of trouble next week, buddy? You reckon they're all going to be gunning for you?
Don't know. I don't know. I'll see how I feel in the night. I don't know if I'll just tell Stefan to kindly go fornicate himself, and I'll go roll off in the distance again.
Awesome, man. Look, it's great to hear you guys sort of, nice rapport going on. We know that the battles have been hard out on track at times, and there's been a few sort of incidents that have gone both ways, but, you guys keep coming back and you keep at the front, so it's awesome to see. Again, Stefan, we'll give you the last word, buddy. Enjoyed that race, man. You enjoyed being on the top step?
Oh, yeah, it's always fun. Yeah, it was a good race, good night. I think it puts me about 30 points behind Robbie for P2, so in the championship. So yeah, Imola being triple points. If I beat him on track next week, I should get that P2. So yeah, looking forward to it, and we'll see what happens.
Awesome, buddy. Well, thanks very much for coming and joining us in here after the race. A great 1, 2, 3 from Stefan, Alex, and Adam. Great racing as always, boys, and thanks very much for coming and joining us. All right, guys. Well, I suppose that will wrap up our coverage of the SRW Porsche Cup here on Sim Racing TV. Don't forget to hit the like and follow buttons on our social media pages, along with hitting that
notifications
on YouTube, yep, so that you're notified of when we go live next. So on behalf of the management team and broadcast team here at SRW TV, it's Cowie and Toddy and Shibby behind the scenes. Thanks very much for being with us, guys, and we look forward to seeing you next time on SRW TV.
Much love, legend.